Hey, everybody, before this episode starts, gotta do our sponsors. This week, Eric Lemming, Moises Lopez, Jordan Upton, Aaron Benvenuto, and our big homie, Timo Fuser? Foser? I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Another fan from Germany, but this guy's pretty special. And I just want to give him a shout out real fast because this kind of blew my mind. So you can find him over at genrefix.com and all the social media platforms at Real Genrefix, like GENREFIX. Check him out. This dude is making music. He's making hip hop music, and I'm actually gonna get rid of our our original intro to just for this episode. And play a little bit of his song called Those Tapes. And he goes by the name The Tormented Teamster. And this song is really fucking good. The song's amazing. The video is even better. So check out those links, genrefix.com, and go to his YouTube page. Because the video is amazing. The references he puts into horror movies is off the fucking charts. But on top of that, and this was the coolest thing, because it's like a hip hop video, like me and Joe are into it. We love it. And on top of all that, Freddy Krueger is in the video. Well, his version of Freddy Krueger, which is actually really good looking. And it's got a Mangle expert pin on his shirt. And on top of it, there's a massive close-up of this coffee mug, and it's got our sticker on it, the cartoon pictures of us. So it was really mind-blowing to see that in a video, especially a video dedicated to horror movies. So thank you so much, Timo? Maybe it's Timo. I'm sorry. But we really appreciate it, man. That song is so fucking good. Like, Joe's a hard motherfucker to impress, especially with hip-hop. And he was like, this is just good. So, man, keep going. And that's dope. And everyone check it out, because I just blew my hair back that, we were sort of kind of in a music video for that. So thanks to the other sponsors too. You guys didn't make music videos of us, but I seriously love you guys so much. You're all amazing. Thank you all so much. I can't tell you what it means to us. So today is Re-Animator. It's a good episode. It's a good episode. Not our best. No, it's a really good episode about a really good movie. So I hope you guys like that. Chicago. This Saturday. See, I don't know how to announce this. So Friday night, Days of the Dead in Chicago, in Schaumburg, Illinois, really. I'll be there. Saturday, all day Saturday, me and Joe will be at Days of the Dead, Schaumburg, Illinois. We'll be there all day, hanging out. Come say hi. Tab and Jacob from Test Pattern will also be there, so that you can say hi to them too. And then that night, we're moving up. We're taking a 45-minute trip uptown to Chicago, and we are going to be performing at Deadbolt. You can find it on all the information on our Facebook page, facebook.com/IHateHorror. And we have all the event information there and addresses and stuff like that. No fees to get in, no tickets, no cover. Come out. It starts at 7. We probably won't start the actual show until 7:15, but it technically starts at 7. So just fucking be there at 7. And then and we're going to be doing a live episode or two. We're going to see what we can fit in, but here's our plan. If you want to watch these movies ahead of time, because we will talk about them, probably a little less spoilery than we usually do. Maybe a little bit of a different vibe, but yeah, we'll see what we do. So we're doing Wishmaster. That's right. It's time. Wishmaster and Idle Hands, one of Joe's favorite movies. So we're going to be doing those movies, at least Wishmaster in Chicago. So come on out, say hi. Listen to us talk about Wishmaster and Idle Hands. We're going to try and do 2 episodes. That might be tough, but we're going to give it a go. Yeah, come on out, man. We really appreciate it. And thanks everyone for supporting us and, coming to these live events and keeping this going. Oh, man, I'm so happy. You guys make me so happy. And yeah, and I want to thank everyone, because right now I'm in Dallas, at a funeral. And I want to thank everyone that sent their condolences to me. Dude, you guys are out of control. Like, seriously, like, thank you guys so much. It really means a lot. I'm fine. I love you all. You guys mean the world to me. Thank you so much for just like expressing that. That's just, it blows my mind, like how many people care. So, thank you guys. It means a lot. And, now let's have fun. Let's have fun and talk about Re-Animator. Oh my God, Re-Animator. I'm at a funeral. Oh my God. Maybe we can make Peppa come back to life. All right, that's fucked up. I gotta go. Guys, thank you so much. Enjoy this episode.
Just sitting around watching horror movies all fucking day.
Okay, I stopped paying attention in class. I was thinking about the adventures of Ash, about the misfortune of sitting kids at Crystal Lake. Became addicted straight away with the initial tape. God bless Betamax. VHS, holy like Amanda Kruger. I was introduced to genre flicks by Toby Hooper. I started craving more just like Larry the Looter. I collected VHS without commentary or bloopers. No computers, magazines, a bunch of stores. Spent my money on movies and begged my mom for more. I'd watch the boys kill those astro bastards 5 times a day or even more. I loved the gore. Lionel and Paquita combined their lonely hearts. I was hellbound, Cenobites tore my soul apart. Insomniac at the loon, even with no smoke alarm. Taryn White, I would have taken her with open arms. Those who drank Tenafly Viper melted like street trash. All the toxic waste would give Melvin the green rash. The Crypt Keeper was announcing what I see next to Doc West. He was the best, he could cheat death. I was surrounded by the undead that eat flesh. Those horror movies taught me life.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Horror Show. Show that dissects, mutilates, dismembers, and butchers all of your favorite and not so favorite horror movies and other horror-related events. Sean.
I'm Joe.
Man, I'm excited for Chicago. This Friday and Saturday. I'm pump it up.
I'm kind of excited.
Yeah. I've never been to Chicago. Like I don't travel anywhere. Like I don't do shit. I'm pumped.
Can we get deep dish pizza?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course. Our hotel, I found out today, is in the hotel room. Is in the
what? You don't say.
Our hotel is in the convention. Like the convention's in a hotel.
Right.
Yeah, we're there.
That's what I thought.
So like we can just like go up and down like
you ride the elevator as many times as we want.
All right. I'm realizing how stupid this all sounds. I was excited. But yeah, we'll have to figure out how to get some deep dish that night.
Yeah, there's like a specific place that
yeah, a bunch of people have sent me stuff already.
Same, and I can't remember any of it.
No. Well,
let's go to a Bulls game after Deadbolt.
There is one on I think it's Friday night. They're home and then they're not away, and it's like I forget. And I was like, "Hey, Brad, I'm gonna go to that Bulls game." He's like, "You're supposed to be at the con."
Like, we have a job to do.
We're paying you to come here. You should probably do the thing. I was like, "Oh yeah, totally." I'm just saying it'd be cool to go. Right? Yeah. It's all I wanted to do though was go to the Bulls game. Like they're playing the Hornets. Anyway, we're talking about Re-Animator.
Okay.
David A.
Oh boy.
From merry old England. No, he's not. He's not from England. He's from the Isle of Man. I don't get it twisted, son. I'll fucking cut off your dick. He goes, I know it's not listener mail time. I really need to read these emails before I read them out loud because I cut off like all these like, hey, how you doing? Well, I've got an email for you. But this one, file this one, whatever. He says, I'm drinking rum. This guy drinks more rum than anyone I know. He says, the new Halloween movie will follow on from part 2, right? I wish that was just the question. That's where he ends it. Of the other big franchises, Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, Hellraiser, Leprechaun, etc., at which point would you insert a new installment? And where would you take the story from whichever point you put it? If you wondered where my inspiration for this question came from, I imagine it's Halloween.
The new Halloween movie.
I'm currently sitting through Jason Goes to Hell and wishing I'd spontaneously combust. Cheers, Dave.
Dave, by the way, he's on Letterboxd.
Yeah.
And his breakdowns are fantastic.
Are they?
Very.
See, I never read my Letterboxd reviews.
I'm trying to find Dave's before we answer his question. Or why don't just not answer his question?
Yeah, let's just not.
Just read the email.
So I think the Halloween movie actually starts from part 1. I think they are even rewriting
No, they can't do that.
I think they are.
They can't.
I'm like 99% sure I just read it.
Part 2 takes place seconds after the first
I know.
one.
I think they're done with that.
That would piss me off.
I'm pretty sure I just read that recently, that they're starting exactly at the end of 1.
2018.
So Jamie Lee Curtis. Dude, I hope it's just a remake of Halloween 2, like shot for shot, but Jamie Lee Curtis is 67 years old.
She's been walking all that time.
And they just predict.
She just woke up.
Of the other big franchises, why did he put Leprechaun on that list, by the way? At which point would you insert a new installment? Where would you take the story from whichever point you put it? Friday the 13th, I'd fucking start at part 3. Fuck part 1. Fuck part 2.
Stop it. Part 1 and part 2 are the best 2 in the series.
That's stupid. Part 1 is stupid.
I watched part 2 and 3 with you.
Part 2 is
theater.
cool. Part 2 is cool. I'm cool with part 2. Fuck the mom. I don't need that bullshit in my life.
Listen, that was a good movie.
Oh yeah, and it makes so much sense that Jason goes from mangled child, mangled malnourished sea child to uber giant that fucking crushes people in a year in the ocean, not the ocean, a lake.
You're correct. Danny McBride has said that Halloween 2 is going to be wiped from the timeline. Danny McBride's a stupid fucking asshole.
2 is awesome.
I agree.
I love 2.
And you know what's not awesome? That idiot baseball player. Who's he play?
Eastbound and Down.
Yeah. What was that guy's name?
Kenny Powers.
I'm not excited for this at all now. I didn't.
You shouldn't be. I don't know why people are. But all the people that are excited for it are also people that give remakes a fucking hard time. So can't wait for people to be like,
I hope it's just a 90-minute Activia commercial.
just
Jamie Lee talk about poops.
I was gonna say Jamie Lee getting regular. Just sitting around being like, oh, constipated
Kind of
this
soft
morning.
today.
Her eating Activia and eating grape nuts.
Wait, what was Dave's question?
If you had to take all the franchises,
Yeah.
at what point would you insert a new one?
Child's Play. After Child's Play 3.
After Child's Play 3?
Yes.
Which one's the army one? 3? And you're cool with 3 and you're like, let's move on. Let's go.
Yeah.
That one's the most,
because I don't need Bride.
that one's the most obvious. Oh, no, you don't need those at all.
Or
ever
Colt.
in the world. That's a good one. That's obvious. Nightmare on Elm Street, where do you insert?
1.
You say no.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, 2 is pretty bad, but 3 is really good.
Yeah, but how can you?
I guess you're right.
You'd have to choose one.
So you choose 1 and then insert 3 as 2.
But that's not what he's asking.
No, he does ask that also.
Oh, he says you can reorder.
Well, he's like, where do you take the story from there?
All right, so there'd be 1,
So
3.
I'd go,
then
yeah,
New
I
Nightmare.
would keep 3, yeah, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's your story.
Right.
I love it.
Okay.
Well, Dave,
There you have it.
Friday the 13th.
I'd keep 1 through 4.
That's stupid. Get rid of all of them and start fresh. Start fresh.
Michael Bay did that. And
Yeah.
Jason stand on the fucking roof.
Jason climbed like a kitty cat. No, you can do it better. You can do it better. I was really excited for the Friday the 13th found footage movie when that was rumored. I think that's a good way to do it.
Sure.
Dude, have it in the 80s. You could do the fucking shit. Make it like hire the guy that did alien abduction. I think he's looking for work. Why did I just poo on that guy? Guy's great.
Hellraiser 2.
Hellraiser, yeah.
After 2.
Yeah. And then I don't know where you take that. Like, just keep making good Hellraisers. Stop.
So you just
Stop using CD-ROMs and stuff.
Yes.
Stop trying to adapt to a digital age.
The Leprechaun get rid of all of them except for a hood.
Go get rid of them all except 1. Start after 1 and then go.
I mean, one's barely.
Go the route of it's a killer cat
Okay.
on the loose. Well, there's your answer, Dave. It's a pretty shitty answer from both of us, but I think it's a tough question. I mean, I like it though. I can't believe that about the Halloween 2, though. It's such a bullshit. Yeah. So there's that question. We don't really do that ever. But send us your questions because I like talking about them.
Yeah.
I should probably just share them with Joe beforehand so he can get an answer. Although I didn't read it either. So. Bad on all of us here. So Stuart Gordon's back on the chopping block. Hey, Stuart.
What up, Stu? What was the last one we did? Dolls?
Yeah.
Big Stu. When you insulted his wife numerous times.
So often. Stuart loves inserting oral sex into his movies.
Was there oral in Dolls?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
But
What a
just
segue.
Castle Freak. And
There's oral in Castle Freak?
yeah, I think like basically the same thing happens, doesn't it? As in Re-Animator, doesn't
Who?
the girl's like trying to blow.
The freak?
Yeah.
But he doesn't have a penis.
Yeah, that's the problem. And she's like, oh!
Oh, yeah.
And then he like kills her.
He rips off her boobs.
He rips off her days.
Wait, she was trying to blow him.
Because he was wearing like a ghost.
I mean, he must have stunk. There's no way he could get down there.
No. I mean, she was a prostitute, I think, though, so I don't know. Down on her luck. Well, originally devised by Gordon as a theatrical stage production and later a half-hour television pilot, the television script was revised to become a feature film. Budget of $900,000, originally received an X rating. Later edited down to receive an R rating for video rental stores. It was the first film in the Re-Animator series, obviously. Released to many positive reviews. It's considered a cult film. It made $2 million in the box office. Yeah. So a solid return there. It's based on Herbert West, Re-Animator, by that worthless piece of shit, H.P. Lovecraft. I can't wait for H.P. Lovecraft fans to be like, it was just the times. No, he's a racist piece of shit. Like, stop it. Like, come on. They all were. People knew better. The Civil War was like a million years prior to this. Okay? So, like, relax. 1921. Yeah, I didn't know any better. Did he call him, like, he was super racist, wasn't he?
Yes. I don't know that far into it.
I don't know either. I've read some quotes and I've just been like, absolutely.
He seemed like a grade A asshole.
Yeah, he's a grade A, 100% a grade A asshole, and a fucking drunk. So a stinking worthless drunk that wrote bullshit. I don't get him. I just don't get him. He looks like a fucking sack of shit, man. His head is so goddamn big. It's the biggest head I've ever seen. That guy was a freak. Was Lovecraft his real name?
Oh, man, I have no clue.
It can't be. That's insane. So many of our friends are probably upset.
I did turn off the episode. Yeah, Howard Phillips Lovecraft.
Is that really his name?
Yeah.
That's an insane name.
He does have such a stupid face.
Dude, he's the dumbest face on earth. And can you imagine that guy? Dude, that guy is... Imagine that guy coming up to you and being like, we're the greatest race on earth. I'd be like, get the fuck out of my face.
Let's see, is H.P. Lovecraft racist?
Well, get ready to see some horrifying shit. But he thought like, he was like really like out there. Like, I think he hated everyone. He's a horrible dude. So anyway, this guy, this worthless mutt, H.P. Lovecraft, he writes these books, Herbert West Re-Animator, between October 1921 and June 1922. It was like a serialized novel. And it's the first of this Miskatonic University, which I guess he uses regularly. And they use it in the film,
yes.
Miskatonic University. And it's notable for being one of the first depictions of zombies as scientifically reanimated corpses. With like bad tempers and shit. And acting like animals, like returning to their animal ways. Of course, Stuart Gordon, being Stuart Gordon, kind of just skimmed the top, skimmed like the surface layer of H.P. Lovecraft, which is probably for the best, because there's probably some like horrible shit in H.P. Lovecraft's version. So I hope like Stuart Gordon was just like, wow, yikes. I'm just going to take this guy's name and the zombies, and I'm going to run with that because it says it's very loosely based, again, just like Castle Freak. He updated the settings, obviously, because this takes place in the 80s. Herbert West, the main character, is a medical student at Miskatonic University. Are you reading racist stuff about H.P. Lovecraft?
Yeah. I don't want to read this anymore. It's fucking,
No, just gonna piss you off.
Almost as boring as a H.P. Lovecraft story. But this movie
fuck. You know what?
kicks ass.
Fuck. Everyone, stop hailing this fucking moron H.P. Lovecraft. Okay, stop hailing this fucking idiot. Let's hail Stuart Gordon
I agree.
for taking shitty H.P. Lovecraft stories and making Castle Freak and fucking.
I think it was you that said that his interpretations were just like him opening a book and saying a word.
Yeah,
I'm gonna make a movie.
Yeah, Castle. This'll do. Like, because that's what I think Castle Freak, they were like, there's one similarity in Castle Freak to the book, and it's that the freak looks in the mirror and is like, no. They said that was the only similar thing. Like, everything else was not even close to like the story. So I love it. Go Stuart Gordon. Take every product from him, from H.P. Lovecraft, and make it your own.
You know what else is really good about this movie is the fucking acting. Barbara and Jeffrey are so good.
Insane.
And I can't think of the actor's name, but or the character's name off the top of my head. The boyfriend, Barbara's boyfriend.
Oh yeah, Dan Kane.
He's
is
awesome.
The character.
He's
Yeah,
awesome.
he's amazing. Yeah, he's got like a really famous sounding name that I was like, oh, I should look up his IMDb, and it's literally like Re-Animator and Brad.
He was married to Linda Hamilton.
Oh really?
Yeah, I think they have
Oh, maybe that's why I know the name so well. I don't know, because I know Linda Hamilton's life.
The world's biggest Linda
That
Hamilton.
must be why I know the name. Oh, Linda Hamilton. We open up at Jesus Christ, University of Zurich. We see the staff going into this room. Everyone's freaking out. They walk in, they break in with the cops, and they see our boy Jeffrey Combs over the body of a doctor who's freaking out.
Yep.
Jeffrey Combs is like, no. I have to check his
Gruber.
vital signs. That is Hans Gruber.
Yes.
Fuck. Hans Gruber is dying. He's the doctor. Jeffrey Combs is standing over him. We don't know who Jeffrey Combs fucking is yet. But Gruber stands up and his eyes start pulsating
Yep.
and they just fucking explode
All over ladies.
all over the ladies. Somebody
says,
yells,
"You killed him."
yeah. And he goes, I did not. I gave him life. This movie
Delivers it perfectly.
insanely. And this movie is full of super quotable lines,
Yep.
such memorable like dialogue, and super memorable scenes. Like,
Yes.
I have a really bad memory. Like, I think some people honestly think I don't know horror movies. Like, I don't watch horror movies. I genuinely think people believe that about me. But the truth is, I just have like the shittiest memory of all
Why do you
time.
think people think that?
Oh, I don't know.
No.
Oh no, it was that
Jimmy
that
asked-
guy, that review? The review that's like, I don't think Sean likes horror movies
Somebody wrote that?
on iTunes. Yeah,
I remember that.
it was weird. It's a really weird review. It's just about me. It's like, well, Sean doesn't really seem to know horror movies. But I do. And I've had fans be like, well, I know Joe like knows.
Imagine after episode 500, you reveal that you've never watched a single one of these movies.
I hope I should.
You just read about them.
Because people be like, I fucking knew it. No, but it's. I just have like the worst memory of all time. Like, I have a really terrible memory. But this movie, I remember like scene by scene. Like, it is so memorable. I love it so much. It just stands out.
I think Jeffrey, I mean, I'm not saying anything groundbreaking here. Jeffrey Combs' performance is one of the all-time greats in the genre. Just like the way he looks and acts, and like he's such like a standoffish dick, and it's perfect.
I think, yeah,
And
he's.
you also kind of sympathize with him. Like he's an asshole.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like a little bit of like Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory, like socially,
He's like autistic.
yeah, like he's like on the spectrum, like just socially not he doesn't connect socially, and that's, you can tell because like they'll say things to him, like they're like, yeah, we're going out, and he's like, the fuck is that? Like, to do what? like there's scenes like that in this.
I love when she's Barbara's character at one part is like, I'll tell my dad, and he just like comes around the corner. He's like, yeah.
I love that, dude.
Tell your dad.
That's like my favorite thing. That's like my favorite thing. He's like, yeah, we'll do this, and then Herbert has nothing over us, and Herbert's like, oh, will you? he's perfect in this role. Like, I think we might have
like the half smile.
I think we might have ragged on him in Castle Freak for his acting because he was playing like drunk. which is always a tough thing to do. But he's amazing in this. Like, honestly, fucking
one of the best
amazing.
performances.
Oh, dude, it's so good. We open up, we cut to there. We get an awesome intro with like 80s neon colored A&P, anatomy and physiology images going across. Great music.
Yes.
The theme is amazing.
Is this known fact? Someone's probably be like, yeah, of course it is. The Psycho theme, interspliced into the theme a little bit.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Not the main Psycho
No.
theme. The one that Busta Rhymes used and Give Me Some More.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I don't know. I've noticed some similarities.
Yeah, there definitely is. You're definitely right. If it's just the same song.
It's probably like the most common. Yeah. It's not the Re-Animator song. No. It's just that. Yeah.
I'll double check it and edit this out if that's the case.
Don't even bother. Fuck them.
We're at Miskatonic Medical School in Arkham, Mass. Yeah, so Miskatonic is like a Lovecraft thing.
Yep.
It means nothing to me. We see a doctor, med school students working on a woman, trying to get her back to life. Doctor's overseeing him, and he's like, a good doctor knows when to stop. This young guy, which we'll learn is Dan Kane, our leading hunk in the movie, and he doesn't want to see a good one go.
That line, "a good doctor knows when to stop," is important.
Yes,
because it comes back to play,
which I love.
At the very end,
which I love.
Yes.
I love it so much. It's so great. It's so great. After that, he goes to the morgue. He brings that body to the morgue, and he's introduced to our boy Herbert West, Jeffrey Combs. Jeffrey Combs is amazing. They ask him what he was doing. He was doing independent research with Dr. Gruber before he died. What were you researching?
Death. He does not shake his hand.
No. Super weird, super creepy. The dean tells I love this movie because they introduced us to like almost everyone within 5 minutes. Yeah. And not even in like a weird way. Like it worked perfectly. Like bing, bang, boom. We know all of our lead
West
characters.
in the cold open.
Yep.
Then you have like your main characters from the school.
Yep.
Just right there. They're all right there. And they are introducing the new character. So it's introducing it to us.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Right off the bat.
It's so insane. So we introduce Dr. Carl Hill, professor, one of the lead professors and brain surgeons
one
at the
of
school.
the greatest villains in movie history.
For sure. Like this movie really
on
is.
so many layers. He's an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
He's a creep.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess that's just.
And he loves oral. Let's not make him an asshole. That makes him a good guy.
Yeah.
I mean,
why that make him an asshole?
No, it doesn't. He gives the gift, man.
It puts him at risk for throat cancer.
Yeah, if they have HPV, yes, that's true, Joe. Everyone, get the thing, the stick. What is it called when you get a needle?
A shot?
That protects you from diseases.
A shot. You really just asked that?
A vaccine. Get the HPV vaccine. Did you really just say? Well, anyway, we're introduced to almost everyone. We meet Dr. Carl Hill. Yeah, and he's a bad guy from the beginning because Herbert just fucking schools this dude, saying his work was basically plagiarism. He's like, your work is so derivative that in Sweden, it's considered plagiarism, which is like, whoa, holy shit, of Gruber's work, because this guy is a student of Gruber.
Yes.
And he also mentions that his thoughts are archaic because Dr. Hill believes within 6 to 12 minutes, brain death. You're done. Cooked. That's it. Herbert West ain't having any of that shit. Cut to Barb.
Yep.
Our final character. And Barb and Dan are banging, and we learn that Barb is the daughter, Meg.
Of the dean.
And they are not supposed to be dating.
No.
And definitely not supposed to be having sex.
Because Dan is there on like a scholarship, and if he's involved with the dean's family, you can lose it all.
Yeah, they set it up for you. They set it up pretty obviously to knock it all down. Yeah, they're about to walk out, and they meet Herbert West again. They're at their house, Dan's house. They're about to walk out. She's seeing her to the door, Meg to the door, and Herbert West is right at the door, inquiring about an apartment for rent.
Can I just say Barbara Crampton is beautiful.
She's so beautiful.
Like a great looking woman.
And again, we've talked about this before. Like she's so like America's sweetheart looks. Like classic beauty.
Yeah.
Like transcends time, right? Like not like just the
She's still very good looking.
Not that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like she's no matter what era you put her in, she's beautiful.
Agreed.
Like there's some women in the 80s that are beautiful for the 80s and like, but if like you saw them now, you'd be like, what the fuck's the matter with this? What's she wearing?
I told this before, but maybe some people haven't heard it. I still get a kick out of when I met Barbara and she was like super nice, talked to me. There was this disgusting cretin that was having her sign pictures of her bare boobs. He's clearly going to go home and masturbate.
That's so
you have
insane.
to be like, oh, thanks. You're a fan.
Thanks for being a fan. Imagine signing like photos of you nude. That's so insane. Like imagine somebody comes up to us in Chicago and they have like a picture of us just with our peens hanging out and they're like, can you sign this? Yeah, man, sure.
There's no way I would.
No, I'd fist fight him. Because first of all, how did he obtain that?
Right. So Herbert West shows up.
Herbert West shows up. He's going to get the apartment. Meg from the beginning is like having none of this. She's like, you need to think about this. Like,
Yeah, because he's creepy.
Right, super creepy. And he's like, can I see your basement? And he's like, this will be perfect.
Yes.
Like saying all this out loud. and ultimately, though, Dan goes with it because he pulls out a wad of cash.
Yes.
And a great line of just being like, you only hear from me on the first of the month. But yeah, he is. And also Herbert West is like, I have my things outside. Can I move in right now? And they're like, And that's what makes like, you really need to like maybe ask him why he left Switzerland in a hurry or like anything, any questions. But Dan doesn't, and he just goes with it. The next day in class, Dr. Hill and Herbert get into a big fight.
First the doctor is
dude.
like ripping back the scalp.
Oh, it's so fucking
It's disgusting.
Yeah, it's so fucking gross.
The makeup is wonderful.
Oh, it's so, the special effects are amazing.
And he has a bone saw.
Yes.
Which my dad also has in his garage. Uses it for everything. Dude.
Just to say he's using a bone saw.
He uses it for everything. You need to cut something up, get the bone saw.
It's
insane.
That's insane.
Yeah.
It's fucking insane.
It's like a legitimate bone saw.
Why?
I have no clue. You call if you ask him, like when you see him, like, hey, do you have a bone saw?
Can I borrow a bone saw?
Yeah. Can you even buy them?
No, probably not. Joe, it's a medical device. They probably don't want people having bone saws out in the public. But yeah, so Hill's given this lecture on brain death and basically all the things Herbert West disagrees with. And Herbert West just starts breaking his pencil while staring him dead in the eyes, like holds up the pencil in between their faces and just snaps it. Then pulls out another pencil and does it again. And Dr. Hill is just fucking.
And Hill's he says about the human brain can survive 6 to 12 minutes, and then stares right at
just
Herbert
staring
and repeats the exact same sentence.
Yeah. And Herbert just runs up to him at the end and basically is like, "You're a fucking moron." Like
he goes, "How can you teach such drivel?
Yeah,
closing their minds before you give them a chance."
Yeah, Mr. West it will be a pleasure to fail you. At the dean's house, we learn that Dr. Hill and the dean are buddy. So this ain't gonna end well.
Dan is there with Barbara.
Yeah, well, Barbara's there by herself first, and
Dr. Hill's a creep.
Dr. Hill's literally just staring at her like a mindless freak, breathing out of his mouth, looking like a real H.P. Lovecraft.
I was just gonna say his face looks just like a Lovecraft. It's so big,
just mouth open, gaping, not breathing through his nose. Being completely incapable to breathe through his nose. This poor actor's probably like, why are you saying that about me? That's how I look every day. And he's like, he's really dismissive about her hanging out with Dan. Mm-hmm. Dan Kane. Like, he's really dismissive about it. And he's just being a super fucking creep. Like, if I were the dean, I'd fucking murder this guy.
Yeah.
Because it's not subtle.
No,
in the
it's
least.
not. But the dean doesn't pick up on it.
No, the dean's just like, oh, pleasure to have you.
Yeah, because when
Would you like
Dan
to share my daughter's room?
Yeah, because when Dan leaves, he's like, her boyfriend's just using her to get to you. And he's just like planting all this shit into the dean's head.
Yep. It's definitely there. Megan and Dan are
Dean breaks his glass in his hand. He's getting so mad because he's like, he's just using you to get a scholarship. Imagine being so mad you break him.
Over that,
Yeah, like
you'd just be like, I don't know, man.
even if you believed it, you'd be like, really? You think that? Like you would just be like, holy shit, this is possible.
Especially because it's not your money. You're just using school money. I would honestly be like, I don't give a fuck. Man.
Yeah, be like, good for him. At least
Yeah, getting that
Smart.
getting that P in the scholarship. Fucking good for him, man. Back at Dan's house, Megan and Dan are making out, and Megan just starts freaking out about Herbert. And she's like, this guy doesn't leave his room. He doesn't eat. We don't ever see him. And the cat fucking hates him. And P.S., where is the goddamn cat? And they're like, Dan, I've never seen somebody care less about their animal. He's like, that big, fat, stupid cat. And they're like, we have to find him. He's like,
even when he finds the cat,
he's the least concerned.
I'd be so devastated.
His cat Rufus. Megan goes into West's room. One of the most iconic scenes in movie history. She opens up the fridge, and inside is poor little Rufus, mangled up.
Yes.
Mangled up. Just as that happens, Herbert walks in behind her.
Isn't Dan just like, oh, maybe he's just playing?
Dan is like so unconcerned and is like, huh? And then Herbert's like, hey Dan, I thought I rented a private room. Like, it's so insane. And then he's also like, it was dead when I found it, which is insane. He's like, it got its head cut on a jar.
It was the plastic garbage. Cats are the most nimble, quick creatures of all time.
Pulled over, it said it knocked over a garbage can, got its head stuck in a jar,
Yes.
suffocated. Very,
And Barbara's like, no, he killed it.
yeah.
And Herbert West still is like, what is this? Accusing me in my own room.
And the only thing Dan's concerned with is like, well, why didn't you tell me? And he's like,
And West, he's 100% right. He's like, what did I say? Cat's dead?
yeah, cat dead. Details later. Because he's like, you could have left me a note. And Herbert West is like, what would the note say? Cat dead. Details later.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's the worst note of all
And
time.
he's saying the cat is in the fridge because he didn't want him to come home and see it.
Herbert West killed the cat. By the way. Which is all to say Herbert West is a total asshole when you really think about it. 'Cause
Oh, no. Herbert West is 100% a despicable human being.
yeah, because he's just lying to their faces and really like outsmarting them when he's lying to them. So it's like a really
And he's so smug
yeah.
when he talks to them.
Oh, like yeah, he talks to them like they're children. That night, Kane wakes up to some wild ass noises. He's knocking on Herbert's door, no answer. Then he, for some reason, he hears a shriek and falls down the stairs. Again, I just fell down the stairs. You're totally fucked falling down the stairs. I just took a shitter down the stairs the other day. I was fucked up for like 3 weeks. Like, totally fucked up. Like, totally did a number on me. I probably should be dead. But he falls down the stairs. He's fine. He gets up and he sees Herbert West with a fucking cat on his back. I love this scene. It's so damn funny.
Same.
Like, it's so fucking funny. And Herbert West is just screaming. He's like, Kane, get out of here. And he's like, get it off of me. And they're such a perfect pair, these two.
Oh, right before that, they're like, we're going to tell that you killed this cat.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I'm going to tell your dad that you guys are fucking.
Yeah. And,
And
they're like, okay. Sounds good.
but yes, Jeffrey Combs is acting as he's such an overactor in every movie.
Yeah.
Like a Jim Carrey.
Yeah, but it kind of works here.
It works,
because
yes.
he's overacting, but his acting is subtle. He's like a monotone guy in
Yes.
this movie, so it's not so like talking with his butt like Ace Ventura. Like it's that level, but just in a different way. It's not so.
So he's like
overflowing.
flailing all around
Yeah.
with it.
So they're using a bat and the broom and chasing this cat around the fucking room, and it's amazing. It's so funny the way they talk to each other. This giant cat puppet lunges out at Kane, who just smashes it against the wall. It fucking explodes. It's just vile. They just smash the shit out of it. Oh man, West ends up explaining to Kane what he's doing down there. The reagent. He's got these specimens. They come back to life, but they're a lot more violent the longer they're dead.
Right.
I think that's what he's saying.
Yes.
Like the longer they're dead, the more violent they are. But he can defeat brain death. And he's pitching to Kane, like, work with me. Like, we can do this together.
Yeah, and the cat is mangled, and he's like, because Kane's like, well, it wasn't dead.
Yeah, he's like, you drugged it.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's like, well, it's dead right now. It's the most mangled cat.
It's disgusting.
And he injects it, and the cat reanimates.
Yeah, the cat reanimates.
Can I say the green in the serum?
It's so cool.
It's like, that color is perfect.
It's so wonderful. And it's amazing how bright it is on the screen. Like,
Yes.
I love it. It's
like
so bright.
screams horror movie.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, it's really good. And the one thing that's crazy about this, you know, we tear movies apart on this thing for like all the flaws that they have in it. But sometimes flaws, like we've talked about it, but like this one, like, you don't need to be realistic. Just make up your own rules. If you're going to make up your own rules, it's all fiction, horror movies. So if you're going to make up your own rules, you don't have to be realistic. Just keep fucking with the way we perceive it. Because this movie literally makes no sense. Like, when you break it down, like,
Right.
what kills a zombie in this and what can come back to life makes literally no sense. Like, there's scenes where he's like, well, that won't work. Like, that guy can't come back to life. That guy later comes back to life. This cat is in pieces. And he's like, just inject it. And it works. And then later, he'll kill a zombie by just like punching through its chest. Like, there's no rhyme or reason to what they're doing. And I don't give a shit.
No, because the movie starts off with a guy's eyeballs exploding. And from there, you're just like, yep, this is it.
This is it. This is his world. He's making the rules.
Exactly.
So don't, you know, if you're making a horror movie, don't feel boxed in. Just do whatever you want and don't fucking explain it. Just don't explain it. That's the biggest problem, right? Because literally they don't explain anything about these zombies other than he can bring them back to life.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them he can, some of them he can't. Sometimes that's a lie. As we'll see later. So where do we leave off?
He's telling Dan that
right,
they can cheat death and achieve every doctor's dream.
Yep. And yeah, and in that scene though, I also love that line. We're gonna harp on this scene for like the whole movie. He's got this line though where Kane is like, "Why does it make that noise?" And he's like, "Birth is always painful."
Yes,
and I fucking love it.
Also
dude.
love that line.
It's so fucking good, man. It's so fucking great. And then Barb walks in and is like, "What the fuck?"
Imagine going home and seeing that.
Yeah, dude. I mean, like, what a nightmare.
Not only is your dead cat back to life, but it's in 100 more pieces than it was last time you saw it.
Yeah, way worse condition. Yeah. Like, you finally found the dead cat, and now it's alive and in way worse condition somehow. It's really great. And Kane goes to the dean like a fucking moron, and he's like, "Hey, man, Herbert West perfected reanimation." Although I guess he's not a moron because I would do that too.
A huge medical breakthrough.
Because the dean should be like, "Are you fucking serious?"
Yes.
And instead the dean's like, "You fucking idiot."
And he's like, "If I find out you used any of the university's equipment,
Yeah.
you'll be arrested."
But then he throws him out of school anyway.
Yes.
And he's like, "Keep Meg out of this." And he's like, "Well, Meg was a part of it."
Meg offers to marry him.
Yeah. This was the scene where Herbert West creeps around the corner because Meg's like, "Let's just get married. That way my dad has nothing to hold over us and Herbert West has nothing to hold over us and we're done."
Herbert's like,
And Herbert's like, "Is that your plan? Is that so? Well, I've got a plan for you."
"Heavens to merge."
And then, I mean, honestly, Kane is kind of crazy because like, I'd be like, "I'm fucking out. Like, this is fucking wild." Like,
oh, Kane. Well, you know what?
I guess I wouldn't be out yet.
You just saw the most amazing thing.
Yeah.
No human has ever done this before.
I would be out in a few minutes because they decide that Herbert West's like, "Well, you know, animals are great, but really gonna have to practice on a human." Like,
I wouldn't be out then, because if you could do that,
no, that's fine. But I'm saying when the human tries to murder everyone in sight, I'm fucking out. So they go down to the morgue. He sneaks. First of all, Kane's banned, so he's not even supposed to be there.
No.
But he's like still under the radar. He slips Herbert in as a dead body.
as we find out, they explain that like that's such a small thing to explain. You could just have it. He just snuck in.
Yeah.
But he sneaks in. Shit happens, which we'll talk about in a second. And then the dean comes down. And he's like, "Did he come in here?" And the girl's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "I told this guy." And she's like, "Yeah, but he's been in call for like the last 6 hours.
He's been in surgery
So it
for
makes
6
sense.
hours. Yeah, it's so good. Like they really did. He did a great job in this movie. Stuart Gordon, that is. So he sneaks them in as a cadaver. They get out. They start looking around. I also love that West carries the reagent around in like an old school like 70s heroin bag. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
that's like what the fucking druggies used in like the 70s and shit. Like beatniks in the 50s and stuff. Like carried like a little satchel around. Like, this is where I keep my heroin handy. Like, and it's the same thing and kind of relatable a little later. But they're looking for the right body. He's like, that's a burn victim, shotgun to the head. I can't do that. He's tossing them all, and then he finds a fresh one. And of course, he's like, start this audio recording. I'm like, that's so fucking crazy that we're in an age where it's like, just pull your fucking cell phone, film this. And instead they're like, well, I guess we could just record the audio.
Right.
People will believe it. He does the reagent. Nothing's working. Meanwhile, Dean and Meg are trying to find him, put a stop to all this madness. So they're coming in. They keep injecting him with reagent. Nothing's happening. The dad finally comes to the basement. As he gets to the door, reagent kicks in. And this corpse gets up. It is the most jacked nude corpse of all time.
Yes, it is.
This man is enormous and terrifying. And again, fighting a naked person, out. I'm out. Like, I'd be out of that room so fucking fast. I'd be like, Herbert, God bless you.
This corpse is so frantic. It's like unsettling.
It's really unsettling. It's really unsettling. Like, you want to talk about like, you know, I've told you, like, the thing that scares me the most is like unpredictability. Mm-hmm. Like, I just, like, people that just seem unpredictable. You don't know what they're going to do.
I know. I've been in the car with you.
Yeah. Yes. Like, it freaks me the fuck out because you just like, they have nothing to lose. Like, that's what freaks me out about this. Like, this guy's just like, honestly, like, it gives me a little bit of agita whenever I see this scene because I'm just like, holy fuck. Like, you wouldn't know what to do in that situation. Like, you wouldn't know, like, if I run, is this thing just going to chase me down and butt fuck me or something? I don't know what it's going to do. Like, you have no idea what it's going to do. But this zombie's just beating the shit out of it, and while the dean's at the door and is like, you boys are going to be in big trouble. Like, okay. Like, he hears like screaming and crashing.
Yes.
And he's like, oh, I tell you what, if Herbert West is in there, you're in big trouble. All right, Dean. And the zombie smashes the door, falls on the Dean, and then he walks on the door and like double foot stomps it. It's one of the best scenes I've ever seen in my life. And it just bloodies him up. It crushes all of his bones. And then to make matters worse, he picks him up and smashes him up against the wall. The Dean tries to like put his hand out to stop him, and the fucking zombie bites his fingers off and then chucks him across the room and smashes him against the wall.
Yep.
Kills Dean Hasley. Hasley, yeah, I think that's how it's pronounced.
Halsey.
Halsey. And West ends up defeating him by taking a bone saw and just pushing it through his stomach.
Yeah.
That's all. That's all it took. And he's done. I was like, what the fuck?
Could have done that so long ago.
So long ago. It seems like you could have put like a pencil in his heart and things would have like went downhill.
And he's so excited to work with a fresh specimen.
He's like, this, without murdering someone, this is the freshest corpse we'll ever get.
Yes.
And Kane's like, yeah, sure, man. And he just goes with it. Like, he's a little bewildered, but like still like, yeah, I guess you're right. Like, you're kind of fucking right.
Yeah.
And I also think part of him is like, well, and then I don't have to tell Meg I killed her dad.
Yes. I think so too.
Yeah.
Because Halsey does come back to life,
They reanimate him.
but he's like a dope.
He's a mess.
Yeah.
He's a fucking mess. He's like curled up in a corner. He goes through like some weird phases. Sometimes he's aggro. Sometimes he's like whimpering in a corner. It's really weird. She comes down while her dad's choking him and is like, what the fuck? And the Dean's like in the corner whispering. Everyone's freaking out. We cut to like later on. West is just like later that night, and West is like just immediately like, all right, so we know that works. It's time to let's think about what we're going to do next. Like, what do we do next? We know it works on people. Like, what's our next step? And like, Kane is just totally bewildered. Like, just like, I don't know what to do. We see Meg's dad, the Dean. He's in a padded room. They've institutionalized him because Herbert West's story was he went mad and killed that guy. Or like, I guess, I don't know why anyone would buy any of these stories. He just mangled a cadaver
And he was perfectly fine like seconds before with his daughter.
Somebody knocked the door down. Like, it's fucking crazy. Like, none of it makes sense.
But Dr. Hill, his friend, takes charge like of overseeing him.
Yes, and wants to do exploratory surgery on him to figure out what happened to him. Meg is against it. Well, at first Meg's like, well, I don't know. And then Meg's like, you know what? Go fuck yourself. Because he's like, because then immediately following being like, I want to cut open your dad, where she's like, all right, I kind of get it. He's like, listen.
No, I want to cut you.
If you want to fuck.
With my dick.
Yeah. If you ever want to fuck, I know you're lonely now, so call me. And then she's like, you know what? Pass on fucking everything. I'm out of here. And then he's like, well, go fuck yourself. And then immediately performs the surgery anyway and lobotomizes the dean.
Yes. And somehow finds out that he's not sick. He's dead, but back to life.
Yeah, well, because he's like looking at x-rays and he's like, well, your back's broken, your neck's broken. He lists all these things. He's like, you are dead. You're 100% dead. And he goes and visits Herbert at his basement lab and is basically like, you're going to give me all your research or I'm going to call police for murdering him.
Yes.
I thought he put Herbert in a trance because it was so weird. Like, because he's like, give me a notebook. And Herbert just like hands it slowly. It's really weird, but that's not the case.
No, Herbert, he's just like a little.
I guess he's like, at the heart of it, if you
that guy's
Herbert,
huge. Like compared to him, he's a big dude. He'd kick his ass.
Yeah. And he basically says he's going to take total control of the research. He's going to get the credit. He's going to be famous, and Herbert's going to be his assistant.
Yes.
And we're going to make Kane disappear.
And an insane part of the plot, Herbert's like, well, I'll show you like some of the what do you ever call it? The reagent or whatever on the cat tissue.
Yeah, because he's got a microscope.
And he's like, lean over and look. And he just fucking kills him.
Yeah. He fucking...
That's premeditated murder.
Yeah, it was like...
This is our hero.
Planned, yeah. And he... so Hill's looking through this microscope. Herbert West looks behind him, grabs a shovel, whacks him over the head, which you're like, wow, that's a pretty good idea. And then proceeds to decapitate him. And it's fucking gruesome.
Yes.
Totally fucking gruesome. It is so bad. Plops it on a tray, on a spike, and is like, hey, I've never reanimated a body part before.
So he does the head and the body separately.
Yeah, and they can communicate with each other, which I love.
Well, the old Krang.
Yeah. Like the body can carry the head, wirelessly transmit its thoughts to each other. I fucking love it. It's really
the body carries the head back to Dr. Hill's office.
Yeah. So he reanimates the head. And this head, though, the head acts different than the other parts. It can actually talk. And the head goes, West. And he's like, oh, what are you thinking? How do you feel? You bastard. And then from behind,
body
we see the body take him by the head and just smash his head onto the tray.
And then it steals his notes.
Meg and Kane, meanwhile, while this is all going on, they're kind of trying to piece together what's up with Hill, what happened to her dad. They go to his office, they find Dean, they realize he's been lobotomized, and they're like, oh shit, we got to get back. They get back to Herbert West's lab, but it's too late. He's run off with everything somehow. This corpse has run off with everything. And and Herbert is fucking pissed.
Yeah.
Super pissed.
And then Dr. Hill go on.
Oh no, so Hill's carrying around his own head in a pan. And goes all the way back to his office on foot.
To research.
to research, but also to get blood for himself.
Yes.
Which is another great little scene where he puts the pan down and the head looks like it's like dying, like it's like barely breathing, like it's like wilting away. And the body like goes into the fridge and grabs a blood pack and just squirts it into the tub. And all of a sudden you see life come back into the head. And he's like, yeah, now I feel better. And I'm like, fuck.
It's great.
God damn it. That is fucking, like, you don't have to add that.
It's fantastic.
I just love it. I just love it. It works so fucking good.
Rules.
Kane and Wes, they decide, we're going to wait here for him. because he's going to come back. So I'm sorry. There's a scene that makes me laugh in this. So Kane reveals that he's got a file on Meg that has like clips of her hair and napkins in it, and Wes just starts laughing like uncontrollably, like just like that. It's really funny. Like that's ridiculous. Like almost like what a fool, like wasting his time on that bullshit. And Kane's like, are you fucking serious right now? Like it's terrifying. Like, but Wes's idea is, you know, we're going to wait at home for him. He's going to come back because in West's head, he's such an egomaniac. He's going to come back. He wants to kill me and he wants to take credit for all this shit. So he's going to come back and take care of that. And Kane, using his brain, is like, oh, fuck. He's obsessed with Meg. He doesn't want this bullshit. He wants Meg. We got to go save Meg. He runs to go save Meg. Meg is safe at her home, thankfully. But Zomdad shows up.
Zomdad, who Hill sent to do his bidding.
Yeah, Hill somehow has control of the dean. He talks to him in zombies, and it's like, hey, go steal your daughter. And he does, and he knocks out Kane in the process.
Yeah, and then carries her back
and disrobes her. Well, no, the dad doesn't disrobe her, thankfully.
No, Dr.
Thankfully,
Hill
Stewart
does.
didn't go that hard in the paint. He backed off a little bit there. And Zomdad brings Meg
strips
back.
her naked, ties her to a table, and she wakes up.
She
in
wakes
the middle
up
of it.
to this head being carried by a body.
Like,
the head's
it's out
just
of the
like
pan
licking
now.
her.
It's just
Yeah.
being held,
Yeah.
which was even more
Like a pet.
disgusting. Yeah. It's like,
And it's like licking her, and he's saying things like, I always admired your beauty, my dear. I think I've always loved you. And it's like licking her boobs. It's boob licking.
it's disgusting.
sucking
He's
zombie.
sexually assaulting her.
Oh, yeah.
It's a
fucking
decapitated, reanimated head.
vile. It's fucking gross.
It's insane.
It's insane. It's honestly one of the most insane things when you think about it.
It really is.
Like some guy was
To
like
film
writing
that.
some guy was writing a movie and was like, decapitated head.
Sexually assaulted
assaults
woman.
woman.
And then to
Goes
make it
for
worse.
oral.
Yeah, and then to make it worse, just go the whole 9 yards and try to have it eat
So-
her out.
It's insane. It's like one of the most insane things. But thankfully, Herbert West intervenes as only Herbert West can, who's like, second-rate scientist. Like just disgusted that he's like wasting his time fornicating.
Third base, huh?
Yeah. What a loser. You should be doing science experiments, you bozo. It's so awesome. Like, I love Herbert West. He's so fucking good. And Hill's like, why would you be so stupid to come back here? Because you're going to die. And Herbert West's like, I have a plan. And Hill's like, so do I.
This is honestly like a top 10 scene in horror for me.
Dude.
Because as soon as he says, so do I, all the
corpses
there's
in the
all
morgue.
body bags
Yep.
all over.
Because they're in
And
the morgue.
Because they're in the morgue. And they all come back to life as soon as he says, so did I.
Yep. Which we had actually seen prior, but you didn't know what he was doing. He was kind of like playing with some of the morgue bodies. You don't know what he's doing entirely, but he's doing something. And they are all back to life. And they start
Legitimately one of my favorite scenes ever.
and they start beating the shit out of everyone.
Yeah. It is a free-for-all.
Yeah. And most of them are half naked, and it's gross.
A melee. Yeah. Yep.
And the makeup is so damn good. It's so fucking amazing. But they're totally fucked.
I mean, and there's gore and blood and guts throughout this whole thing. And
It's the gore is amazing in
Yes.
this. It's really unbelievable. It's really overlooked in terms of like gore and stuff. I think people kind of. Well, there are like because the unrated version, the R version, but like this is up there, man.
it's gory.
It's fucking vile. Meg, though, breaks through to Zomdad in the middle of the chaos and is like, Dad, like, help us. And Zomdad doesn't take much. And Zomdad's like, huh? And just like fucks shit up.
Yeah.
And they're about to lobotomize Herbert West. Dad steps in, beats the shit out of the body, fucks up Hill's body, then grabs Hill's head, which starts headbutting him in one of the most physics challenging things of all time. A head using its weight. It's impossible. Literally impossible, no matter what. But this head is headbutting him, and he just crushes Hill's head. Like like a fucking balloon, like literally balloon. It flattens and then just chucks it against the wall, and the security guard sees it and it's just like, it just runs the fucking way. Then
Wes injects Hill's body with a lethal dose.
which was one of the weird things because Wes is like, I told you I have a theory, right? And the guy's like, yeah, which I did not know he said that. And then he's like, overdose. Worst plan I've ever heard. Worst plan ever. And injects the zombie with 2 needles, causing the zombie to go. This scene is so smart too, though. The zombie body starts exploding.
Yep.
But one thing he adds is,
Mutates.
It mutates. Well, yeah, the reagent is so strong that it brings all of the organs back to life, like individually.
Yes.
So the intestines are its own brain now, and the intestines come to life and start choking Herbert.
Yeah.
Like they wrap all around him.
And Herbert's like, save, I forget what he says, but he tells Dan to save his work.
Yeah, he's like, take my notes. He doesn't give a shit about his own life.
And he's being pulled away by entrails.
Yeah, and then at the same time, the zombies have knocked over chemicals, so it's like smoking. This is the end. Alarms are going off. Everything's going nuts. Kane and Meg almost escape. They get into the elevator, and burned up zombie comes in and starts choking Meg. I mean, honestly, though, this kind of is up there with like Tales from the Crypt choke. All through the house choke, where it's like the hands on the shoulders. He's like,
Light massage.
because like this zombie is using one hand to choke this girl.
Yeah.
And she
Not even
looks
for that
fine.
long. Yeah,
No.
yes.
She's like,
Agreed.
"Ugh!" She's screaming, and then
Agreed.
he chops off the arm with an axe, and then she's like, and he's like, oh my god, she's dead.
I could not agree. I'm glad you said that because, I mean, I know it's coming because I've seen it before.
Yeah.
But like, it should not have killed her, and you're just like, oh, she's probably very startled.
Yeah. She's passed out. Maybe she's a little oxygen deprived. But like, she's like, he brings her into the emergency room, and they're like, she's dead. And you're like, what the fuck?
But it goes back to what he said in the beginning. Like, a good doctor knows when to stop because he keeps trying to.
He's trying to revive
yes.
her. He brings her up to a hospital room, just like the first scene. Very reminiscent. Trying to revive her, nothing. The doctors are like, it's over. You got to get out of here. The doctors leave. It's great, man. It's awesome. But Kane has this look in his eyes, and he pulls out the reagent from Herbert West's bag.
Yes.
Because, this has worked out really well so far. Every time they've injected this,
Just like Pet Cemetery.
don't leave dead alone, or whatever he says. And he says, I love you. And he starts to inject it in the brainstem. And honestly, even the closing scene is fucking amazing because the screen fades into darkness.
Yep.
Total black, except the green in the syringe.
Yep.
And you just see it get injected.
Yep.
You just see it slowly disappear, like going down.
And then you hear Barbara scream.
Yep.
Meaning she's come back.
She's born again. The pain from being born again.
That's how it ends.
And that's how it ends. And it's fucking perfect.
What do you rate it?
I think I gave it 4.5.
Okay.
It might be a 5 though.
It's 5 for me.
Yeah.
I think it's perfect.
It's really
I think
perfect.
it's perfect. I mean, it's creepy. It's a great story.
Yeah.
It's gory.
Yep.
It's fun.
Yeah,
and
it's a perfect
funny.
horror movie. It's
Yeah.
really a perfect horror movie. Yeah, it's really good. Have you seen the sequels at all?
I have. I rented Bride. I think it was middle school. I think that's the only time I've seen it. And Beyond Re-Animator, I taped when it premiered. Didn't it premiere on the Sci-Fi Channel?
Oh, yeah.
I taped it on VHS. I only watched it once. Loved both of them both times.
Really?
Yeah.
I gotta check
sure
them out.
I would-
I've never watched them because honestly, this one is so finite. I mean, even though it ends open-ended, it's such a perfect ending to a movie.
I mean, don't Dean and Barbara not come back for part 2?
Is that what it is?
I think so.
No, Dan's in it.
He is in part 2?
Yeah. I think so.
Let's see here.
But I mean, the first one is just, even though it ends open-ended in that way, it's almost a cliffhanger, I'm cool with that. I like thinking
same.
not knowing what happens to Barbara.
Well, really, you should know what happens.
Well, yeah.
It's not good.
It's not good.
Yeah.
It's going to be bad. And he's going to have to kill Barbara and probably reanimate her again because he's a fucking moron.
Just keep doing it.
Yeah. So that's Re-Animator.
Who played Dan?
Bud something Abbott.
Bruce Abbott?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Bruce
he is
Abbott.
back. Okay.
But
But
Abbott
Barbara's
is-
not back.
Barbara's not in it now. Great movie though, man.
Yes.
Really happy to do it. So
Look what I see right here. Well, wait, where'd it go? The score for this film was composed by Richard Band. It has been noted
Yes.
for its similarities to the score for Alfred Hitchcock's film Psycho.
Bam. Dude, it sounds exactly like it. Like once you said it, I knew exactly what you were talking about. Like the real theme, not the
It says that Band has noted that the similarities were intentional. After
well,
somebody called them out.
bold. Like it's better than the Ice Cube or the not Ice Cube.
No eyes.
Vanilla Ice, like, no. His goes bum 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 bada bum bum. Mine goes bum 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 bada bum bum.
Well, he's right.
He's an idiot. So is Richard Band. No, Richard Band is smart for doing that. So, and this we should mention Andy A from Germany picked this out for us. Thank you so much, Andy.
Yes. It was fun.
You know what? You picked a classic. I was worried about it, but it's fucking great. All right, so next episode will take place in Chicago live. So these are the movies. I think we're going to try and do 2 movies, but we'll see when we get there because it's really going to be a free-for-all. It's going to be nonsense. And this is the first one we're doing together, so it's going to be interesting because I really like just riffing and, we'll figure it out. But we're going to try and talk about 2 movies. So if you want to watch them before you come out, we will also have a visual aid there. So I will try and get some like screen grabs and stuff before we go out there. We're going to do Jordan R. Pick this out. Jordan, maybe it's just Jordan. It's spelled Jordan. Jordan R. Wishmaster. We've talked about it before. We make a lot of jokes about shoving stuff up butts. I can't wait to watch Wishmaster. That is Wishmaster, right? Isn't that the one where I talk about like
Yeah, but it
you
didn't
wish for
happen in the
money and
movie.
they just shove it up your butt?
Yeah, right.
Oh,
Yeah, no, you said that. Yeah.
And we're kind of going out of order here because we got to pick movies that we think would be good for a live audience. After that, we're going to do. After that, we're going to do one of Joe's favorite movies, Idle Hands.
Yes.
Who's in it? Seth Green?
Devon Sawa.
Devon Sawa. That's your boy.
That's my boy.
That's your boy, Devon Sawa.
Yes.
Maybe he's in Chicago. So, Idle Hands, Wishmaster, come out to Chicago, say hi. We're going to be talking about those movies and probably Wishmaster shoving stuff up people's butts.
Is Seth Green in Idle Hands? Seth Green's in
Who's
everything.
Seth Green?
Man. What?
Who's Seth Green?
The redhead?
Yeah,
guy?
okay, yeah. That's what I was
Robot
thinking.
Chicken?
I think he's in that.
I mean, I feel like he's got to be.
Dude, it was
Yeah,
a
he's in
90s
that. Yeah,
movie.
he's
Of
in-
course he is. He plays like the guy with goggles on his
He's like
head.
the main character.
He always wears a knit cap and goggles.
That's
And just walks around being like, hey, man, it's fucking crazy.
And Foggy Nelson from Daredevil.
Oh, he's in it?
Yeah. Eldon. Wasn't he a Mighty Duck?
Was he in Camp Nowhere?
Christopher Lloyd was.
Was he in House Arrest? Do you remember that?
With Jamie Lee?
No.
House Arrest? Yes, yeah. With Jamie
Oh,
Lee
yes.
and Kevin Pollak.
Yeah.
I
And the
know.
kids lock him in the basement?
I don't know what Eldon's been in. That's
Well, come to Chicago if you want to hear all this banter and more. If you weren't sold on seeing us in Chicago, imagine somebody like finds us through because Deadbolt's like promoting it, and they're
Yeah.
like, "Well, let me just try out this new episode." Wow, this guy's fucking moron.
no, he's in neither of those movies.
Okay, perfect.
He's in Mighty Ducks, Mighty Ducks 2, Mighty Ducks 3, She's
Foggy
All That, and Idle Hands.
That's perfect. All right, guys, that's the end of the episode. We will see you in Chicago. If you want to support us, rate, review, subscribe on iTunes. That's the best way to support us, and we really appreciate it. If you do, shoot me an email, Sean, SEAN, at IHateHorror.com. If you can support monetarily, patreon.com/IHateHorror or store.IHateHorror.com. We will have shirts in Chicago, by the way. I'm going to FedEx them out there so we can have them. So if you want to buy a shirt, I'll have one of those little stripe readers in my telephone to take your credit card. What else do we have to promote? Facebook.com/IHateHorror, IHateHorror.com. I'm on Twitter at IHateHorrorShow, Instagram and Snapchat at IHateHorror.
I'm at JoV421, Boognish 1985, Horror Show Joe.
That's a wrap, guys. We got to get out of here. It's 11 o'clock. thank you all so much. We really appreciate the support. Can't wait for Chicago. It's going to be awesome. We'll be there Friday and Saturday, Days of the Dead Con, and then Saturday night, Deadbolt, Logan Square in Chicago. So come join us. It's going to be fucking awesome. And bring us deep dish.
Yes, please.
Hot dogs. I'll eat as much as possible.
Chicago hot dogs.
Well, they just put bullshit. Oh, I shouldn't say it.
Avocados.
Crap on it.
Avocados.
That's it? I thought they put like fucking bullshit.
Like what?
Like chili and pickles. And
Why would you not want that on your hot dog?
because it's all mixed together. It's like chili and pickles on top of each other.
That's like chili and relish.
I don't like relish.
Well, stop it.
I eat my hot dogs plain.
What's the point of eating a hot dog?
Because I love the meat. I love the high quality meat.
Stupid. The high quality meat. A Chicago style hot dog. Oh yeah.
I'm getting it.
I think it just has a poppy seed bun. No,
it's all that bullshit.
There's a pickle.
There's a pickle on it.
And tomato.
Yeah, it's a little wet for my liking.
A dill pickle spear, pickle relish, white onions, tomato slices.
I'm out.
That's it.
It sounds like a nightmare.
Pickled sport peppers.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. I might drink.
Yeah?
I might get weird with it.
You gonna get loose?
I might, man. I haven't drank in 2 years.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So probably just a beer will do me in. Like, honestly. But I'm a fun drunk as long as you don't try and punch me in the nuts while we're moshing in a kitchen.
I'm going to do both those things.
Otherwise, I'll fucking punch you in the face. Anyway, why are we still talking? Guys, for Joe, this is Sean. Stay weird and see you in Chicago.
Thank you.
Adios.
I'm obsessive compulsive, I have to make a mind. Create a shrine, life is short and then you die. I'm gonna watch those tapes again, even though I've seen them like a million times. VHS.
Wanna play?
I'm gonna watch what I'm not supposed to watch.
A fucking zombie getting sliced and diced.
A killer. A monster.
Just a fucking idiot. Watching movies all fucking day.
Kill her, mommy.